Hey everybody, and welcome in to the Mike the Gamer Guy live stream for E3 predictions. This is the 12th of June, so we are 4 days out from E3 and 2 days out from the other thing that we're going to be talking about a little bit, which is the Smash Brothers news conference show. What do you want to call it? Stream, which will give us perhaps some new information on Smash Brothers, but we'll talk about that shortly. First, allow me to introduce our panel of intrepid journeyers on this journey, which is really, E3 really is a journey. I'm Mike the Gamer Guy. I'm joined by
Tom,
as well as
Bailey.
And we're all here to talk about what E3 might have in store and what the Smash Brothers thing might have in store, and what basically are game predictions, maybe even not necessarily related to E3. We'll just have to see. Of course, you can take part in this conversation too by simply leaving a comment, chat message here on Twitch, and we will definitely address your comment, assuming it's not racist or bigoted or something else terrible in any way. So that being said, let's get right into it. Tom, let's start with the ones that we don't care about too much. Microsoft press conference. If Microsoft could do one thing, if Microsoft could do one thing that could get you to want to buy an Xbox One, what would that be?
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts is coming to Xbox, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that is.
So is that, maybe depending on how much they show of that, could that maybe swing you to wanting to get an Xbox?
Yeah.
Really? So, what about you, Bailey? Does Xbox really have any appeal to you? Do you think there's anything they could do at this press conference?
No, there's nothing they could do.
Yeah, I'm not particularly excited for Microsoft's press conference either. Though, last year they did have some cool stuff going on. At least stuff that, at first excited people, and then people were quickly, put down with their feelings about the whole thing. Of course, there was the Conker's Other Bad Fur Day thing.
Yeah.
That got a lot of people excited for a few seconds, and then it ended up being part of Project Spark. There was that game, I can't remember what it was called, and I don't know what ever happened to it, what followed up with it.
It was like Sunset Overdrive.
No, it wasn't. There was this really cool 2D platformer, 2.5D platformer that Microsoft was showing off. It was set in this dystopian future, and there's cameras everywhere, and you sort of have to avoid their sights, and it was all black and white. It looked really cool. That was a really cool thing that they did. Some very 1984-esque, dystopian future.
Lumos or something?
Huh?
Was it Lumos or something?
Lumels?
I don't know.
I thought it was something alone. Maybe that's not right. But that was pretty cool. The cool thing about last year's E3 is that there was cool stuff everywhere. We didn't have any real interest in Sony or Microsoft, but yet their press conferences were pretty enjoyable. Oh, Microsoft did have one of the greatest E3 moments last year. We can't forget Capcom announcing Dead Rising's expansion pack, which had some ridiculous title like Dead Rising, Super Dead Rising plus Alpha Remix Plus. That was pretty great. If I could see one thing out of Microsoft, it would just be, some reason to get an Xbox One. Something that was with Xbox 360, where there was just such a breadth of games for it, from third parties. But I haven't really been getting that feeling from the new generation PS4 or Xbox One. It's just been the Wii U's had such a strong library, which is pretty much the opposite of what the Wii really had for the most part.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. Alright, Sony, hit me up. What do you want to see from Sony?
Same thing. I want to see
Kingdom Hearts? More Kingdom Hearts? So, you're really on the Kingdom Hearts thing.
Yeah.
I assume that if, alright, hypothetical here. Kingdom Hearts 3 gets announced for the Wii U. Alright? But it's got reduced graphical capabilities, it's got maybe how, maybe you remember The Force Unleashed, right?
Yeah.
How its versions on the Wii and PlayStation 2 were almost completely different than the superior Xbox version.
Yeah.
Similar thing with Kingdom Hearts 3. Do you get both versions? Do you get the Wii U version and then go and get an Xbox One eventually? Pick up the real version?
No.
You stick with the Wii U version?
Yeah.
Alright. What about you? Do you want to see anything out of Sony? You just acquired a PS Vita, so I mean, this is perhaps of some interest to you. Is there
Slightly.
any games that you're sort of looking forward to?
A few.
Which ones did you think are going to be talked about at E3 really, or are these just
Gravity Rush 2.
Gravity Rush 2, Fez 2?
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Fez 2 is not going to happen.
No.
For me, as far as Sony goes, I guess I'd be interested if they showed more Battlefront stuff off. But I think that'll be at EA's press conference.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Sony, what could they do? Sony, I'm even like less interested in. I mean, like because Bailey bought a PS Vita, and I'm sort of interested in that. Like I'll be interested to see what they talk about for Vita stuff.
Yeah.
Like that'll be interesting because the Vita is such this sort of underground handheld at this point. Like Nintendo will always be the kings of the handheld market, really, as far as dedicated handheld consoles go. But so I'll be interested to see if they announce anything cool. I'd be glad to see maybe some more like Telltale games ported there. Like you got The Wolf Among Us, which was one of Telltale's point-and-click adventure games. What else are they working on? I don't know. They worked on Walking Dead. They did that series as well. They did the Back to the Future point-and-click series, which is really good. And I don't think you've played it yet, but you really should. It's a really good series of games. I don't know if that came out on Vita, but if it didn't, then it should get a release on Vita. Moving on, EA. I know you're a huge EA fan.
Oh yeah, I like those Madden games that come out like every year.
Tom's a huge Madden fan.
Mm-hmm.
Which Madden is your favorite? I know that you're such a huge fan.
2020.
2020. Yeah. EA's got Star Wars now. Like that's something.
Yeah, Battlefront is something I'll look at, but that's probably
Battlefront. I mean, maybe there'll be a new Star Wars game announced too. Like there's a lot of Star Wars games that were being in development before EA sort of, and Disney too to an extent came in and sort of, wrecked things to a certain extent. Like Star Wars 1313 was a big E3 title. They got shown off and then completely disappeared. I don't know if you're really looking forward to anything EA related. Are you looking forward to the next version of NHL hockey?
Always.
Yeah,
it's my life.
I know it's so amazing. I guarantee you, EA's press conference will be the worst again this year. It's just going to be maybe 10 minutes. Last year they opened up with Star Wars footage, and I was really excited. And it wasn't anything. It was in-engine footage. You didn't get any idea what the game looked like. It was pretty lame. And then it was just them going on and on about how this sports game was going to be the better sports game. And it's like, now there's...
What competition does EA have, anyways?
On the sports game market?
Yeah.
What, who's 2K Games? They have a parent company, I think. Maybe that is 2K Sports, right? Or whatever they're called. They even still exist?
I don't know.
And there's like NBA 2K9 or whatever. Remember those games, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, EA doesn't have much competition, mostly because I think in one regard, like those sub-sports underneath football are so unpopular in games, really, that no one's even making them. And then Madden is just such a ubiquitous name that everyone's going to buy Madden. And there's a train. What else?
Wii Sports.
Okay, I guess I guess Wii Sports is the closest thing they have to actual competition, and I don't know. I just don't feel like that's.
It's for intense players.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Oh no! Yeah, well, you're gonna hear more about the Rio one, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics 2016. But that's Nintendo, Tom. Stop rushing ahead. That's the one we're actually going to spend time on. No, but like EA every year, they're all like, okay, so this sports game, like the players look a little bit better, and like, there's this new engine that we're trying out that like simulates the game better, and I just don't know. Like, I've played Techno Super Bowl for the NES, and that's a fine enough football experience that as much as you need one, you know. So they're making the same game every year, and it's kind of getting boring, guys. But anyway, okay, and then Ubisoft, right? Is the final third party
I think so.
Ubisoft, I doubt there's anything you want to see from them.
No, I don't think so.
I want to see more, like, stereotypes of gamers. Because we didn't get enough of those last year. We need to be reminded how much we like Mountain Dew, drugs, what else is there? Fritos, of course. A bunch of, like, attempts at strange sex appeal comments.
Oh, yeah.
Those are going to be fun. Ubisoft was by far the most
insulting
of the E3 press conferences last year. Not a big fan. But you recently picked up a Ubisoft title called Child of Light for the PS Vita. Does that interest you in Ubisoft's coming up works? What do you think of Child of Light, anyway?
I'm conflicted.
Conflicted? Why is that?
I like it, but it's also strange.
It looks interesting from what I've seen, so I'm interested to see how, because she just started playing it, so it'll be interesting to see how her opinion develops. But it's like a 2D side scroller, right, mixed with RPG elements. So it looks pretty cool. The battle sequences remind me a little bit of Mario and Luigi, the way that they're framed. Not as much the way they play, from what I've seen, but the way they're framed from left to right with all the characters on the screen. Looks cool. Okay, anyway, moving on. Nintendo. There's a lot of Nintendo stuff this year, but let's take a step back now. Let's go 2 days ahead from now. Okay. More like 1.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Smash Brothers press event before the Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah.
Give me your initial impressions.
Okay, what I think is going to go down, basically, is it's going to start off with a screen, like, one of those scenes that they do for a character.
Wow.
And they're going to start off with a DLC character.
Announcement?
That is not a fan-chosen one.
Not a fan-chosen one.
And then they're going to end it with a fan-chosen one.
That's interesting. Okay, I have some thoughts on that myself. Do you have any predictions you'd like to share about Sakurai's little press event?
More amiibos.
More amiibos.
They're gonna wag some more amiibos in our face that we're never gonna get.
Probably Mewtwo and Lucas.
Let's show off those.
Lucas is gonna probably be a GameStop exclusive.
But I don't think we're gonna hear that on the day of. I don't think they're gonna announce exclusivity in that direct. I think that would, especially because this is something that's going to be seen all across the world, and I don't think GameStop has much of a presence in Europe or Japan, so it probably makes sense just to say that they're being made. We might hear about maybe some of the other characters too that we haven't heard of yet, like Duck Hunt Dog, which is one that I'm really excited for, and Mr. Game & Watch, which is another one, and maybe Rob too.
Yeah.
And I mean, right about now we're beginning to round out that Smash Brothers line.
Yeah.
So
until they make more DLC figures.
Yeah, that's true. So, if you could make a guess, though, Tom, and I'll hit each of us on this question, who is just going off of your model, because I think I agree with it in a lot of ways, beginning and end. I don't know if I agree with the fact that one won't be fan-chosen, one will be. I think they might both already be determined.
Okay.
But who is the first character they show? Who is the last character?
Probably Wolf. And then it's a popular character.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty popular.
Who?
And probably
exactly
King K. Rool.
Okay, that second one I can agree with. Do you want to take this question next, or do you want a moment to think about it?
I'm going to predict it'll be Ridley, then Ice Climbers.
I think a lot of people would like that, for sure. I feel like Ridley is out of the question to a certain extent because of his appearance in the game as it currently is, but I don't know, maybe Sakurai had a change of heart. Maybe decide that Ridley can have a chance. Ice Climbers, I also agree with. That is one of mine. That would be my first guess, is that they figured out how to do Ice Climbers. They had a little more development time. Ice Climbers definitely coming back. I don't think that they would not do that.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit silly. But if he comes to the 3DS, here's my caveat, my second part. He might be new 3DS exclusive DLC.
Yeah.
Because that's got a better processor, can handle it better. Because the whole reason why the Ice Climbers weren't in the game in the first place was because they had problems integrating that on the 3DS. Because That's with, like, 8 characters, essentially, walking around. Even though Rosalina and Luma would also be 8, seemingly, but maybe that's because the Luma is maybe less complicated.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. That being said, my other pick, I've got to be careful here. I'm going to say that's going to be Roy, or possibly even Ryu. My reason behind this is because within the code of Smash Brothers, this was confirmed last I checked, but maybe...
Oh, yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah, so maybe those will actually be both the characters, but I want to believe in Ice Climbers. Roy and Ryu's like sound files and special music for those characters were found within the code. The interesting thing about this would be the fact that Ryu is another third-party character from Capcom. So maybe Capcom and Nintendo working together a little bit more. That's kind of interesting. And then Roy, of course, was my favorite of the Fire Emblem characters from Melee.
Yeah.
And has still been my favorite character, I think, from Fire Emblem since. Is just a very nostalgic character for me. He was like he had that really cool flame blade, which just like exploded off anyone who was sort of near that special. Yeah. So, really fun character. Those are my 2 picks. Aside from that, other news we're going to hear about is, of course, we just mentioned Amiibo talk. That's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout Nintendo E3. I think we're going to get to that a little bit later. And maybe some new stages. We already know that the Miiverse stage is going to be discussed, which was something that they talked about, I believe, in the 50 Fact Extravaganza video that they released many a moon ago. Let's do quick. One stage, Tom. One stage for Smash. Which one is it? What do you want to put in Smash?
Pokey Float.
Pokey Floats from Smash Bros. Melee, a classic level. I don't know if you've played this level before, but essentially, it's just giant Pokemon as floats, and they pop up, and you jump on them. It's a lot of fun. It's basically like, I mean, they're just sort of static models, but it makes for a surprisingly interesting game in a varied terrain. Yeah. What would you say, though? A stage.
I want the sunflower scene from Mother 3.
Oh, jeez. That would make for a really, like, gorgeous level for sure.
Yeah.
They released that with Lucas DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, Tom. That does come out in 2 days. Do you think that they have the time to...
Well, sometimes...
Better have the time.
Well, I think they could... Well, sometimes companies go ahead and it's coming out today, or whatever, during E3.
That'd be nice, but if they did a Mother 3 level, I'm gonna have to say it's the one that they already have completed, which is the new Pork City level that was in Brawl.
Yeah.
Which would be nice too, like seeing the Ultimate Chimera back, chomping on people.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. But I agree, Sunflower Fields would be a nice Mother 3 stage. My personal pick, even though Mother 3 is a great option, is not from Earthbound or the Mother series, even though that's my favorite series. It would be a Donkey Kong series to go with your King K. Rool DLC talk. Yeah. The Gangplank Galleon ship level from Donkey Kong Country. One of the stage hazards could be that cannonballs.
A beaver that you can't beat.
Unkillable beaver. No, not in this one. That's only in that other game that we don't want to talk about. But the cannonballs could fall from the top of the screen and knock people off.
Yeah.
If King K. Rool isn't a playable character, which I would be very disappointed given the nature of the Smash ballot, but if he wasn't, then I would really like to see him as a stage hazard in this level that I'm envisioning. At least some representation, because that character's been shafted a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of characters, by the way, allow me to get sidetracked for half a second discussing this Smash Direct. There are some other characters I think that are in the contending for this spot on the roster. There's this list of characters that were apparently removed from Brawl, often called the Forbidden Seven or something. There's Dixie Kong, Plusle and Minum, I think, are other theorized ones. Toon Zelda, stuff like that. I think all those characters also have some chance of coming back, though. I don't know if I'd want to... They have a fighting chance, yeah, but I don't know if I'd want to see any of them in particular. Other things with Smash Brothers, I don't think we're ever going to see them add in a new item. I feel like that's not...
I think that'd take a lot.
Yeah, and I think it maybe break the... It's part of the game in a way.
Yeah, like, they have it pretty balanced right
Yeah,
now.
with their item selection.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they would add in, but... Yeah, I don't see that. Splatoon might get some more... something. You know,
Yeah.
maybe... I mean, something I think that could work somewhat well with Smash is, like, just adding in new trophies through DLC.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't be that hard. Like, just take a model from somewhere or whatever and, you know, put it in the game and make that a new collectible. Because part of Smash that's interesting is just collecting all the trophies. And
Speaking of Splatoon, I thought I saw, like, a picture, like, a couple of days ago with Mario Sunshine in it.
okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. We're not to the Nintendo event yet, okay? Alright?
Okay.
Alright, does anyone else have something to say about Smash Brothers before we continue on to the Nintendo event?
No.
No?
Well, we have World Championships.
Oh yeah, let's hit that real quick too. Okay, the Nintendo World Championships are coming up a few hours after the Smash event.
Yeah.
What can we expect to see on that front? Probably not too much. There's a Treehouse Live after it, right? Or no, is there a Treehouse pre-show?
There might be, I don't know.
We might see a new game.
A
of
new
some sort.
game, like, as the final challenge.
The reason why we're theorizing this is because those of you who have seen The Wizard,
Yeah.
of course, know that movie ends in a special way where they show off Super Mario Brothers 3, and it's like, what? And that's supposed to be a big thing. So it would be a clever callback to that, and it also would be really cool to get a new game announcement at the end of the championships and just have people totally blind going into this thing, you know, having to play it. So that'd be a fun thing. I don't think we're going to see that much out of the Nintendo World Championships, other than a really good time. Because, you know, the Smash Brothers tournament last year was a really great thing on Nintendo's part. It was super interesting to watch.
Well, what do you guys think the Nintendo Championship is going to be? Is it like, who can rack up the most points, or who can speed run this the fastest?
You see, I feel speed running would certainly give a slant to some individuals already joining it. I looked at some of the people who got invites to this thing. There was the guy from Game Grumps, Aaron. He was one of the people who was invited to it. Other than him, there's a few speedrunners, but I think Aaron was the only one I recognized from the internet. But speedrunners would certainly get an advantage if there were speedrun-based challenges.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a combo of both, like points and whatnot.
If we're going off the original Nintendo World Championship, what that entailed was a specially made cartridge which had 3 games on it. It was Super Mario Brothers, Rad Racer, and Tetris. In Rad Racer, there was like a speedrunning element. You had to get to like the end of the course as quickly as possible. From what I recall, Mario was collect 50 coins.
Yeah.
And then Tetris was rack up the points. So maybe what we're looking at here is like a complete an objective, get there as fast as you can, speedrun like you were saying, and then rack up points.
Well, Splatoon's going to be one too.
Splatoon's going to be one.
Which I think they're going to use to kind of
narrow it down.
Yeah.
That'd certainly make a lot of sense. And Splatoon really, that'll be interesting because it'll be the first ever like introduction to Splatoon into like a tournament setting, so we can really see if it works in that environment. Not 100% sure if it will, but that should be pretty interesting. What else we got here? And that's all for Nintendo World Championship, right?
You'll probably get like a golden disc at the end. That'd
be fun to see what they actually win. If it's like a World Championship disc or something. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the winners, of course, of the original Nintendo World Championship actually won like gray cartridges of the very game that they played on, which it's pretty amazing. I think that wraps it up for that portion. So let's get into the Nintendo Digital event, which will be the real meat of this E3 adventure. That's what I'm most excited for. It's what I'm always most excited for, is what Nintendo does.
Time for way out predictions.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, let's just stay grounded for a second, okay? What are we definitely going to hear about? Well, I think we can almost 100% agree. We're going to hear something about Zelda.
Yeah.
It's supposed to release in 2016, last I checked. It was supposed to release probably around this time this year, originally. Right? It was summer 2015?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
That or winter. I don't know. It's somewhere.
Yeah, it was supposed to release this year, regardless. And that, of course, got pushed back and made a lot of people upset.
It didn't make me upset.
Yeah, it didn't make me upset either, but a lot of people were a little bit frustrated with that, to say the least. I think we're definitely going to see a trailer. We're also going to hear a name. What that name's going to be is, I don't know yet.
Something that's in the game that's important.
Yeah, that's sort of the Zelda theme. I mean, this is the theme of many movies, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, or video games. It's like the title and the subtitle has something to do with the game. I mean, that's just sort of a basic title construction device, to say the least. So, I don't know, Legend of Zelda. It's really hard to come up with a name for this thing at this point. It's very similar. It almost might be good to just call it The Legend of Zelda. Yeah. Because if you've looked at the footage that we've seen so far, and it seems to be somewhat of a way into development at this point, it's very open world. Yeah. It's very, I wonder, let's go to that area, let's see what's up there, let's check out that mountain. It's just a free exploration game. Yeah. You know? So it might be just good to say maybe this is the definitive The Legend of Zelda, you know, since the first one. Yeah. I mean, it's always kind of confusing to do that, right? I mean, look at the Rocky franchise, or maybe Rambo even. I believe Rambo did it as well, where they will, like, the 6th Rocky movie is called Rocky Balboa, right? A little bit confusing, sounds like the first movie. But I personally wouldn't have a problem with that if they wanted to just, you know... Yeah. All weird titles aside, or just call it Zelda U. Doesn't matter that much. A title matters far less than the content of the game. Like, I remember when Smash Bros. Was getting its name. Yeah. Like, I found it a little bit lame that the versions were called Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Yeah. But it really didn't end up making the game any worse or better. I mean, it made the game... The game was still really great at the end, and the title really didn't affect it that much. Just ended up calling it Smash Bros. Anyway. So, I think we're going to hear about Zelda. Tom, you saw an image. What image did you see?
I saw Super Mario Sunshine in Splatoon.
I saw this image too a little bit ago as well. Okay. The image in question apparently shows off, and I don't know how much I believe this, but it's certainly a neat idea, to say the least. Scanning in a Mario amiibo, and you get Splatoon-related content. I believe it's actually Mario with Flood in Splatoon, which would certainly be interesting. Of course, it's a little bit of an opposites thing, right? Yeah. Since Mario's whole purpose was to clean. Yeah. Of course, it wouldn't be that hard to just put Flood with an ink spraying thing, but I don't know. What do you think, Bailey? Do you think this could work?
I think it could.
You think it could?
I think it'd be weird. But
it would be a little weird, but would it be something you would be interested in? If they revealed that, would you be like, yeah, I'd want to use that myself, or would you be like, I'd rather just stick with the Splatoon original content? I'm on the fence myself.
I'd probably go for it. I'd actually buy an amiibo to open of Mario to use.
Really? It'd certainly make people want to buy Marios more, because right now they're just sort of lining the shelves.
Yeah, they've never really been a hit.
Yeah. Or so it seems, at least. Yeah. My whole thing is sort of an in-between thing. Because on the one hand, like, I really enjoyed Mario Sunshine. And if they could bring some of those elements back, that'd be really great. And it's definitely something I would use if they did announce it. My thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is Splatoon's been able to create a very interesting, like, world, right? They've made their own IP for the first time since Pikmin. And I guess Codename Steam was something new too, and Wonderful 101, kinda. But this is the first big hit from Nintendo since Pikmin, and it just seems like almost a little bit of a disservice to put Mario in there, because the game doesn't need Mario. Yeah, it doesn't need. Because the game's so good on its own.
Maybe Flood as a weapon. By himself.
Maybe just by himself.
A person on Miiverse was like. Yeah, this, if you want Metroid's...
Arm cannon. I saw that too. That would be cool as well, if they could integrate it that way. But I don't know if, I guess the biggest problem with Mario being a playable character is him turning into a squid's going to be kind of weird. Right? Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be a little bit hilarious, have Mario with, a squid with a mustache. But, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one on Earth who wants to see that, but still. So it's a little bit like, if they did announce it, there's no way that I would not use it. I'd have to. I just feel... I'd want to, almost, But if they don't announce it, I'd still feel like the integrity of the game is sort of being kept there, in a sense. So, it'll be interesting. We're gonna hear a lot about Splatoon, by the way, at E3. We heard a ton about it last year. As we get into Treehouse Live, we'll talk about our predictions for what Treehouse Live is going to show off.
Next prediction that I'm pretty sure is going to happen is new Nintendo 3DS exclusive software.
What do you think that it would take the form of?
I don't know. Mostly, maybe remakes like Twilight Princess or something.
Yeah, Twilight Princess is definitely one that I've heard a lot of people throw out there. I don't know. Do you think that the new 3DS is justified more exclusive software? I mean, like if you look at the DSi really didn't have that much exclusive software for it. Like a game at the most, a game or two. We've had Xenoblade come out for it.
Yeah.
And that was like sort of this is a proof of concept thing, but I don't know how well Xenoblade sold, and I don't know how well the new 3DS is doing in comparison to...
I don't think it's doing very well.
So maybe, I don't know, it depends. If they do announce new software, it might spur people to want to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, Twilight Princess on the go would be something I'd like to see.
I could do the Master Sword glitch on the go.
Well, maybe, assuming they hadn't patched that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine would be another great game to take with you.
That'd be good.
I don't know, for whatever reason, this E3 just wants them to announce Mario Sunshine. Something.
2.
Yeah, Mario Sunshine 2. Just, I don't know why.
Sunshine 2, Splatoon.
Yeah, I guess Splatoon's almost kind of like, what if Mario Sunshine had like a multiplayer battle mode?
Yeah, and you were trying to make the world dirty.
Yeah. So, but like the same sort of idea of like the way, I don't know, Splatoon does in very many ways feel like a Mario Sunshine spin-off somehow. Maybe it's the squids, maybe it's the...
Kids.
No, it's not that. Maybe it's like the way that the ink sort of splatters kind of reminds me of Mario Sunshine. Anyway, it just has me in the mood for Mario Sunshine, I guess. So Mario Sunshine would be other good stuff. Pikmin would be one that I would actually be very... I'm talking Pikmin remaster for new 3DS. And it would work, too, because you have 2 thumbsticks, finally. Right? I mean, one's like a nub, but it'd still work. You could actually do Pikmin on the... You could do Pikmin with just a touchscreen, even.
Yeah.
But that one would be another one that would make me want to be like, I think I kind of need a new 3DS, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, because so far, I'm perfectly happy with my original 3DS XL Smash Brothers. It's, the Xenoblade hasn't won me over by any means.
No.
So, what about, you have any ideas for 3DS exclusive software? I'm trying to think of something maybe that's more intensive graphically, or, like, CPU-wise, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know.
Nothing?
I think your ideas were pretty good.
Okay. You know, just maybe something that could integrate Amiibo, too. Maybe make Amiibo Tap available on new 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that wouldn't be hard to do, right?
No, there's no way.
Yeah. So, you know, because, I mean, that's supposed to be one of the big features of the new 3DS is Amiibo support, but, you know, Smash Brothers has been the only game... Oh, I guess Codenamed Steam as well.
Chibi Robo.
Oh, and Chibi Robo's going to have it. Chibi Robo. That's right. What do you think about Chibi Robo, Tom? You think we're going to hear about that?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Do you think... If they talked about it, I wonder if they're going to announce some more Amiibo with it.
We'd probably also hear about Super Mystery Dungeons.
Super Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Oh, alright. For me, I think it'd be interesting if, with Chibi Robo, if they maybe announced more Amiibo for it, possibly. I'm always looking out for new Amiibo, anyway, I guess, so...
Yeah.
A little bit of bias there, I suppose. But the game looks genuinely interesting. It looks like it's something I'd actually be into. Yeah. The original Chibi Robos I never really played. They never struck me as very interesting, but I don't know. This one's like a Castlevania-style platform thing. I'd be about it. All right. Moving forward.
To out of this world predictions.
Out of this... Oh, wait. I just thought we would keep on... with this. I mean, there's still more to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I guess we can go to out of this world predictions. All predictions go. What's yours? Which one do you want?
Remakes of Red and Blue. I know this is, like, super unlikely and whatnot, but if you look at the new sets of Pokemon cards that will be coming out, they have red and blue in the names.
Okay, so Tom's been on this for weeks now. It's just, even before this set was announced of Pokemon cards, he's like, Pokemon Red and Blue are going to get remakes. It's, you know, they need remakes. But it doesn't make any sense, okay? Fire Red and Leaf Green are perfectly fine games. They seem to get everything right. They have a nice visual style. They're in 2D, sprite graphics. It's nice, you know? There's something kind of perfect about it. They're like the best version of Red and Blue that you need. You can't... First of all, you can't even tell me what the necessity of this is. Because at this point...
There is no necessity.
Exactly.
For
you can transfer those Pokemon all the way up to the latest games. I mean, the process is a little bit complicated.
That's
granted.
why I said this is an out-of-this-world prediction.
I know, but you talk about it so often that it seems like you actually legitimately believe this will happen.
No.
And at least
I want it to happen.
2 or 3 people on this panel disagree with you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? And it's not going to happen. Oh, wait, what?
I think, well, they could.
What?
Just to make more money. They can make more money off of it.
Oh man, I've been betrayed.
I mean, Red and Blue isn't in 3D yet.
I know, but why does it need to be?
Because
I don't.
That's why.
I guess my thing is like I think Fire Red and Leaf Green, they just have such a nice visual style to them. They're like really remakes in the best sense because they are still sprite-based graphics, but like the Game Boy had very limited graphical capabilities, especially the early games. You know, they're probably the only one that really needed it. But I can also understand Heart Gold and Soul Silver, right? Because the Game Boy Color games can't interface with the Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah.
In all honesty, the Hoenn remakes don't make sense to me. They don't have a real necessity in my mind. I don't get it. But I do have to say that it's a good thing, in the very least, that they added some new content and Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
Because that made the games actually have some new like relevance to current Pokemon. But in all honesty, I'm still a little bit confused by it. I definitely don't think there's a need for that other thing. What were you talking about?
The Kanto remix?
Yeah, Red and Blue. Shouldn't happen.
Well...
And I don't think they'd be called Red and Blue. This is another thing. I don't think they would be called Red and Blue because, of course, Red and Green were the Japanese version. Fire and Ice versions. that would be... That could be the name if it existed, but... Or, like, are you making Games of Thrones references? Song of Ice and Fire? No?
Yeah.
But I just see it as a very unlikely thing because they're red and green in Japan, Tom.
That may be true.
But you're wrong.
But yes, exactly.
Okay.
Are you gonna bring up the Pokemon amiibos?
Oh, yeah. But, of course, he doesn't agree with this.
He doesn't agree with that?
No, he thinks... Okay, so I guess they found inside the amiibo slots for every single Pokemon or something. All like 720 billion or whatever there are. You know? But
2, I think?
But there's like slots for every currently revealed Pokemon. And it's sort of this idea that maybe Pokemon could be getting an amiibo range. How would I do this? I don't know. I would want to make it a figure-based game. I don't know exactly how I would do this. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having like flashbacks to the Pokemon collectible figure game. You know, those things that were kind of fun, but ultimately sort of failed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I'm just imagining, like, what if you could have this, like, playmat with amiibo data saved from your Pokemon on it, and then you could, like, lay those out and have, like, a Pokemon battle in, like, the actual objects in like 3D
Yu-Gi-Oh?
space. Yeah, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. A lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, from, like, the anime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's just, like, sort of this Toys to Life thing is just becoming such a prevalent part of gaming today. Yeah. Disney Infinities, Skylanders... Amiibo, of course, are now like the leading, now have the biggest part of market share for Toys to Life products. Lego Dimensions is a new one.
Amiibos are gonna just take over everything. They're just gonna start moving one day, and they're gonna go ahead and take over your house.
They already have taken over our house a considerable amount.
What about the card idea. Instead of having actual
Oh.
amiibos, just make it cards.
Yeah, this is
make
what
a deck out of
this is what I was talking about too. Is that you could like construct in a Pokemon card amiibo deck, and the reason why this would make a fair amount of sense is that they did this before with e-reader cards. Now, of course, in that case, you weren't able to technically play with them in the e-reader.
No.
And the way I'm proposing it would be actually that you could scan a deck in, or scan each card individually in, whatever, and play with them in an online virtual game. But the point still stands that there seems to be some way that could work.
Yeah.
Anyway, definitely, I think that if they announce Pokemon Amiibo, that will be a huge thing, and it'll cause a lot of Amiibo collectors to probably tear out their hair, because with Pokemon, so many of them,
Yeah.
like, they'd have to seriously make these things much smaller and probably cheaper for anybody to want to try and collect all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at
there's more
least...
demand.
Yeah, and there's more demand, too, because Pokemon's huge,
Yeah,
right?
compared
It
to
is
Smash
huge.
Brothers, it's much
That's
bigger.
another
Yeah, it's
reason why
something.
they could make the remakes.
Give up on him.
Like, I don't know, I could see it if they make, like, mini amiibos or something, just having, like, a huge Pokemon line. I mean, they technically already have done a Pokemon NFC thing. Before there was Amiibo, there was the Pokemon Rumble NFC figures, which work on the NFC pad just like Amiibo would.
Yeah.
Like, they're same concept, except for they kind of suck, and they're very fragile.
Yeah. Which I think would be the Amiibos if the Pokemon Amiibos did come out.
Do you think that's what they'd be like?
I think they'd be pretty fragile.
Not
like in design, though.
No, I think they'd make them higher quality than that.
Yeah, I think that...
Especially with all the money they have now.
Definitely. And I mean, the biggest problem with the Rumble figures, from the point of like how easily they broke, was partially just like simple design flaws.
Yeah.
Like the figures are designed geometrically or whatever, with all these sharp pieces, so they break off easily because they're just like these straight like lines and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the way they're connected to the base is like on little stubs. It's very, very, very fragile. So I think that we'll see maybe more like solid plastic figures, which will solve the problem. But maybe about the same size.
Yeah.
Possibly. Alright, so Pokemon... Anything else Pokemon related you think we're going to see?
I have Super Mystery Dungeon
Mystery Dungeon?
Of course.
Here's my prediction, guys. Pokemon Snap 2 for the Wii U. It makes so much sense. It would be so perfect. In every single way. The gamepad. It's kind of shaped like a camera. It has a camera on it, at the very least,
Yeah.
You just hold it up like this. I mean, okay, you guys can't see this, but I'm holding it up like a camera. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it seems to make a lot of sense. You got a gyroscope in that thing. The Splatoon has proven that gyro controls, not necessarily motion controls, but gyro controls,
they
can work very well for a game like that. And I'd be all about playing a Pokemon Snap.
So would I.
They utilize that.
That's like Mother 3, in that...
No, it's not.
No, it's something
We're
like that.
not going to see it.
No, it's not nothing like Mother 3, because the guy who's behind Pokemon said that Pokemon Snap 2 had been discussed, and has always been sort of talked about a little bit. Yeah.
I've never heard this.
I read an interview where he's like, we've addressed the Pokemon Snap thing, and he's like, it'd be... I think he said something like it'd be fun to return to it, or something like that. Now, that definitely wasn't any confirmation by any stretch of the imagination, and this did come out maybe like, geez, I might have still been in junior high, now that I think about it. But, I mean, the point remains. No, I wasn't in junior high, I was definitely in high school.
Yeah.
Still, the point remains that Pokemon Snap 2 isn't totally off the table. And it would definitely work with gyro controls very well. The Pokemon selection, they have so many Pokemon to choose from now. So many different environments you could go to. The original Pokemon Snap, if it suffered from one thing, it was length.
Yeah.
Very short game, very memorable and fun game, but very short. So,
I could see them doing it like a 3DS version too.
Sure. Yeah, Pokemon Snap. Or at least maybe just even port Pokemon Snap 1. Just do the direct port.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd buy it, maybe with some enhanced graphics or whatever. I'd buy it right away. Take my money, I'd be all about that.
Take my money, just like the Amiibos took our money.
Yeah. Or just maybe even make it there was this idea, I don't know if you guys remember hearing about this. There was this idea that was circulated for a while maybe 2 E3s ago called Wii Imagined.
Oh.
Do you remember hearing about this,
Yeah, I
Bailey?
remember this.
No, I don't.
Okay, basically, what Wii Imagined is this concept where they would take N64 titles, like Super Mario 64, Pokemon Snap, so on and so forth. Zelda maybe was even in there too. Star Fox 64 was one.
Yeah.
You know?
But
and they would be completely remastered with HD graphics and a few added gameplay things, and they would re-release them on the Wii U as like a new HD remastered ultimate port with extra whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Just do that with Pokemon Snap, and I would once again buy it. You know, you don't need. This game was so fun and so memorable because it took the on-rail shooters genre and it made it into something that was not only more like colorful, but also something that was deep and different with its mechanics. It did something that other on-rail shooters have never done and have yet to really capture, as far as I know.
Yeah.
You know. So Pokemon Snap 2 is one. How about you, Bailey? We'll just keep on going back and forth until we run out of big things. Is there anything that you would like to make a prediction of for E3? Is that face mean Mother 3?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Mother 3.
Okay.
Mother 3 for 3DS. Exclusive.
Yeah, so this is
3DS.
something that I think could actually happen, despite the fact that it won't. Just because I'm such a huge Earthbound Mother fan. Is that with Lucas coming out, okay, it's just all lining up, guys. Alright? Like, it all makes too much sense. This year is the 20th anniversary of Earthbound.
Yep.
Alright? It's also at the same time, June 14th, when Nintendo's really starting off this whole thing. Lucas is coming out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know? They're actually bringing Lucas back. That must mean something, right, guys?
Hopefully.
I mean, Ness was an amiibo figure. He actually got made into amiibo. You know?
Yep.
Guys, it all makes sense, right? Mother 3?
Oh, yeah.
Stars are aligning.
So, I mean, it just, like, it's what I would do. But I would have done this years ago. I think that we will see a 3-pack. Earthbound 0. Earthbound. And Mother 3/Earthbound 2, whatever they want to localize it as, for the Nintendo 3DS. Alright? Not remastered at all, I don't think. I think this will be a straight-up compilation card of the ports.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. You want to know why it wouldn't be that hard, guys?
Because they've already got it translated, and the person that made the Mother 3 translation already offered his translation up.
For free.
Yeah.
Okay. It's right there. Why wouldn't you take it, you know?
Yeah.
It cuts down the process of trying to localize Mother 3 insurmountably. Okay, so like the Mother 3 tomato translation like says damn in it. It maybe is a little bit too like racy for North American Nintendo. Yeah, but here's what they could do. Just change that word. Bam, okay. Now you spent what, 5 cents on localization costs? Oh well, you know, Reggie himself could probably figure out how to change like the 1 or 2 words in the script. Okay?
Darn.
It wouldn't be difficult to do. And with the original Earthbound Mother 1, not only has that been totally translated into English, not only has it had all the added features that an RPG needs for the North American audience, really, but it also is already censored completely.
Yeah.
The one they created was already censored with all of Nintendo America's censorship policies. Alright? And we know it's still out there. You want to know how we know it's still out there? Get this fact. Pretty crazy. Mother 1 plus 2, right?
Yep.
Mother 1 plus 2. The Mother 1 on that is actually a Japanese translation of the English translation of the original Earthbound Mother 1. With all the localization stuff intact. That's how we actually found out that the original Earthbound prototype was actually real. Because Nintendo used it themselves when they were making Mother 1 plus 2.
Huh.
Interesting fact. Mother 4 is completely off the table. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Itoy, I think, not only is Itoy sort of said that he's done with it because of his like connection to his family and how it's just not in the cards. He's also seems to be a little put off by video games at this point, mostly because people, since he's such a prolific copywriter It has all these other things. He has essays that he writes and stuff. People sort of define him by it, and he doesn't really like that. So Mother 4 is a very unlikely thing.
Yeah.
But
They're
I'd love to
making
see
a
it.
fan-made one.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that turns out. All right. Continuing on, Tom, give us another guess.
Let's see here. Something Mario. Like another Mario 3D World.
Mario 3D World 2?
Or
2D World?
Or something. Another 3D Mario game, basically.
Okay. Do you know what format would it take? Would it take the 3D World format? Or would it go and...
It'd be probably more like
Mario 64.
Mario Galaxy or Mario 64.
That's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
With Mario Sunshine 2. Just make Mario Sunshine 2. I would be disappointed if it was Mario Galaxy 3, but maybe I'd like it.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxies 1 and 2 aren't games that I was really able to get into because the Wii's not a very... It doesn't appeal to me the way that a lot of Nintendo consoles do. I don't like the motion controls. I wish I could just play with a regular controller. Now, the Wii U has the big gamepad or whatever, right? But they've actually got it to work.
Yeah.
In a smart way with Splatoon. So...
Good job, Nintendo.
Yeah, and with like Mario 3D World, you can use a regular controller. So when they utilize it correctly, they do. When they don't need to utilize it, they just put some map information down there or whatever. It works. Make it another screen. I like that. When it's just a second screen.
Yeah.
But don't make it like really motion control centric. I don't like that. For me, let me think. Let me come up with another prediction here. Mario Maker is definitely going to be on the playbill.
The new Xenoblade game is going to be talked
Oh yeah,
about.
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
Did you see the Mario Maker stuff, by the way, Tom? Those promotional screenshots that showed 8-bit Bowser Jr.?
No, I didn't.
One thing I gotta say about Mario Maker is that, even though it was a really cool idea,
Yeah.
like, a lot of people were sort of like, well, there's been level editors for Mario games since the beginning of time, essentially, right?
Yeah.
You've got Mario Brothers Utility for the original game. You've got Lunar Magic for Super Mario World. You've got Super Mario Bros. X, even though that game's not really supported anymore, that's still widely used as just a free Mario game creator. But this game really adds a lot to it. This has got that Nintendo quality Mario right on it,
Yeah.
The fact that even the new enemies and graphics that have been added over the years are going to be transposed backwards in D-Make style. Like, I love that, right?
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of, like, the pirated D-Makes, that stuff. It's just so interesting, right? And now Nintendo's doing that themselves by D-Making Bowser Jr., by D-Making, like, the Chain Chomp into real 8-bit, and it looks really good. It looks like the real original Mario. I mean, it's smart. You just can't deny that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hear a lot about Mario Maker. They might announce something else with it, maybe a new graphical skin. If they did that, I'd love to see Super Mario Bros. 2. Like, Doki Doki Panic Mario 2 as a choosable skin. But we're going to hear about Mario Maker for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you out of suggestions at this point, you think? Or do you have anything
All I
else?
gotta say is maybe new Virtual Console games.
Oh, new Virtual Console. That'd be good.
Mother 3.
Mother 3.
Mother 3. That's all I want.
At least they could at the very least release Earthbound Zero on Virtual Console, There's no reason not to, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
It doesn't seem to make sense. Virtual Console would be cool to see. Maybe GameCube Virtual Console stuff.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
It's GameCube.
At least, release Mario Sunshine on Virtual Console there. Pokemon Snap could even come out for Virtual Console on the new N64 Virtual Console.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff Nintendo's doing with Virtual Console right now.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64 is one that I really want to get eventually here. Same with Mario 64. I'd like to see those games finally on the new system. Is there any reason I need to get them? Actually, yes, at this point, the Wii is pretty much obsolete.
Yeah.
By all accounts. You can play all Wii games on the Wii U, and it's just ugly. The thing looks ugly. I don't like the Wii. It looks ugly.
Okay.
You agree? It looks pretty ugly. Their change to white was a real poor decision. The original. Do you remember when they first announced the Wii? It was called the Nintendo Revolution.
Was it? I slightly remember it, not completely.
It was super cool. It just, like, the Wii and the Wii U both had, like, that blue light that surrounds the disc slot when you... It was that, but it was with this really cool black like sleek piano black design, and it just really lit up and looked amazing. Nintendo ruined it by calling it the Wii.
They did make those though, didn't they? The black version.
They eventually did release black models of it, but I think
not the same.
Yeah, it's.
Do you think the NX will be talked about?
Oh, that's a really good point, Tom. Good job, Skipper. 10 Mike and Games points for you. Good job.
Oh. Look at him.
Yeah, the Nintendo NX, I don't think they're going to talk about it. I think they're going to say, hey, we got a new console coming. More about that in the future.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to see it. Definitely not see it.
No.
We're going to hear very little about it. Nintendo wants to focus on the Wii U and 3DS. They want to focus on what they have right now.
Yeah.
Smart decision, gotta say. There was something else I was going to mention. It was like a big thing, too.
Android?
No, that was a lie. Turned out. Definitely not going to be. There was this rumor that NX was going to run on Android, which is a...
No, that wasn't just like Android stuff that they were doing.
Oh, you mean with DNA, the smartphone company. You know what? That's a possibility. I'll say that, I'll put that under the maybe category, but I think it's still a little bit unlikely. Could be interesting, though. I'll have to see. I've been saying that I think that the Squid Jump minigame on Splatoon is a test run for one of Nintendo's early smartphone apps. Because it was basically a smartphone game for all intents and purposes. Okay, guys. You guys ready? Question time. If Nintendo could bring back one classic franchise that they haven't done with anything with for a while, what would you like to see?
1 second, I need to think about it. You just put me on the spot here.
Okay, here's mine, guys. Duck Hunt 2, The Revenge. Alright? Maybe not The Revenge, but definitely Duck Hunt 2. Okay? Duck Hunt is a game which would sell on name recognition alone. Does it need to exist? No. Would I even be really excited for it? Probably not. You know, I mean, hunting games are kind of lame. But you add that Nintendo charm in there, and that Duck Hunt name, brand recognition, you know? People will buy this. Everyone knows Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt's almost as popular as Mario when it comes to, like, how well known it is.
Yeah.
You talk about NES and they're like, oh, Duck Hunt, because the Zapper.
Mario and Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
They came together.
They came together. That's another thing, too.
Yeah.
Mario's the most popular video game icon, and you put that next to something and people are going to start to recognize it. But the Zapper, too, it's just such a memorable thing because it's like the first light gun that really worked. Now, honestly, the light gun dates back to the Magnavox Odyssey. Right? The very first home console had a light gun.
Yeah.
But the Zapper was the first that people really got a handle on and really started to enjoy, and it was memorable in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
So, Duck Hunt 2, The Revenge, or The Duckanine, something like that. What about you, Tom?
Mother,
Tom, we already established this. Mother 4 is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Shame.
Okay.
Plus, Mother's gotten a release more recently than Duck Hunt has.
I guess it has.
But I guess that doesn't matter too much. You got one, Bailey?
No, I feel like I'll mix them up too much.
You feel like you'll mix them up?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Harvest Moon.
Oh, Harvest.
There's already those. They've already made those again. But
Harvest Moon would be
better.
nice thing to see about. Natsume and Nintendo really go hand in hand too. So it'd be neat to see something like that. Dig Dug.
Yes.
From Namco. We're getting a little bit off of Nintendo, but I agree.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. Bailey's mind is on other more capable companies. So
Dig Dug in 3D.
Yeah, I mean, like, well,
That'd be
Namco's done some great versions of Dig Dug, and well, like other games. Have you heard about these? The arrangement versions. They're really cool. They're like there's Pac-Man arrangement, Gallagher arrangement, and Dig Dug arrangement. There might be a few more, but those are the ones I remember.
Yeah.
Basically, they're the original games, but what if you took those original games and updated them for a modern age?
Sure. And
they're really fun. They're some of the best versions of the games out there, honestly. Pretty much perfect. All right.
What about Metroid?
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean that got a release on the Wii, but that was a pretty unpopular title. You know, like a Return to the Form Metroid. I'd love to see it. It'd be nice to see it take the form of maybe something closer to Other M. Honestly, I know Other M was very popular with a lot of people for its
something
story.
Else to talk about.
Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe I thought of it too. I guess we'll see.
Okay.
1 second. But Other M had some neat gameplay ideas by mixing sort of a 3D, 2D aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe just a straight up 2.5D Metroid. I'd go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the Wii U's trying to sort of stay away from that maybe, but I'd like it. Okay. On the count of 3, we're going to say what we're thinking.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Star Fox.
Oh.
Called it. I knew that's what he was thinking.
Brotherly telepathy.
That was telepathy there. Alright, yeah, Star Fox, we know this is going to show up as well. We saw it at E3 last year, along with Project Guard and Project Fighting Robot. Which, if I could guess, have actually become part of Star Fox. That's what a lot of people are theorizing, is that these two like tech demo-ish looking games are actually now part of Star Fox. Because, I mean, it would work pretty well, and Arwing turns into like a giant robot thing for like sumo wrestle battles. The other thing could be like a land-based mission, even though I know people would rather just have a straight-up flying Star Fox game at this point. But Star Fox. Which leads me into the other one. Do you have another one too?
No.
F-Zero. F-Zero, it's the perfect time to bring F-Zero back. People were so excited when Mario Kart 8 added in the F-Zero stages. Those things go so fast. F-Zero, like no other game, provides a feeling of acceleration and velocity that really a few other games are able to achieve, right?
Well,
at least as far as racing games go. Yeah?
Would they really release that right after Mario Kart got released?
Oh.
Well, I mean, Mario Kart's definitely going to be the better seller, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I just feel like it's something that they could and should do.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe if it's been a while and people aren't playing Mario Kart as much, maybe that'd be a good thing to...
Certainly, yeah.
More Mario Kart DLC?
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
But on the topic of F-Zero, the reason why I think that F-Zero might work, though, is because Mario Kart, even though it's a great game and it has a lot of fun gameplay, like, a certain amount of people are turned off by games that are too childish looking or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People don't like the Mario aesthetic because it's colorful. People don't like colorful. F-Zero is pretty gritty. It's got a nice grit to it. It still somehow pulls off color, at least on the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
You know, but it's sort of like a neon light, seedy, sort of crazy Las Vegas type of color. So I think that it could work, maybe appealing to an older audience. Though most people who play the Wii U don't really care about that, right? They don't care about the whole perception of what's an adult game anyway.
Yeah.
Or so it seems.
Doesn't
Okay,
like it.
what were you saying?
Mario Kart DLC?
Oh yeah, I think that's possible. They found some files which either might be placeholders or actual something. Say we dropped 76 frames for a second. Hope you guys didn't notice that. It's a static image. All right, but you know, Mario Kart DLC. They found some files in the game a while ago, which led some people to believe that there'd be more DLC. There's definitely at least enough room for probably another 2 DLC packs of 2
Maybe.
things. At the very least one.
After that, I think it's kind of getting too much DLC.
Well, let's talk about Smash Brothers. I mean, we both want to see Smash DLC, right?
Yeah.
Well, how much is too much for that?
I don't know. Like, after we get so many DLC characters that it could be like a new game. Like, I don't want to see, like, I don't know.
Wow.
It's hard.
Very interesting analysis.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything there. Let's move on. Treehouse Live. Last year it was Splatoon. And, you know, that actually, it worked in a way because it got me excited for it eventually, you know. Like, I was exposed to it so much that Splatoon was in my nightmares. It made me go out and want to buy the game. What do you think it's going to be this year? I think Mario Maker's on the list.
I think some Splatoon DLC.
Splatoon DLC? Alright. That'd make a lot of sense. Smash Brothers DLC, you think?
Yeah. Smash
Do you think
Brothers.
Smash will actually be at E3 digital event? Or do you think they'll just, since they covered it already, they will probably ignore it?
They might ignore it.
That'd make sense, I think.
Yeah.
It's a smart move. Assuming that they announce new things in the Smash Direct. What else are they going to show? I think Starfox is going to be there.
Yeah.
Don't think Zelda's going to be there.
No Zelda. It's not even going to get a demo.
Yeah, it seems unlikely.
It'll probably be like a year from now that it'll be released. That's what I think. At least.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
What else is there to say about this? The Treehouse event, it's always a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah.
They're just, watching people play some of the new games.
Some games get announced during it.
Yeah, that's interesting, too.
Yeah.
What might happen there. Yoshi's Woolly World might... Wait, when does that come out?
It comes out, like, really soon, I'm pretty sure.
Comes out pretty soon. We might still hear about something about it at E3, though.
Yeah.
Just, like, as a little side note, maybe some Amiibo compatibility. Because Amiibos are always coming out. I don't know if you saw, Tom, but there's many Amiibos that have been announced for Yoshi's Woolly World compatibility already.
Yeah.
For example, the entire Smash range, for the most part, minus the Pokemon. And the Super Mario range, too, I believe.
Yeah.
But Splatoon also just got announced as Yoshi costumes. You can give Yoshi a dark eyeliner and Splatoon girl outfit. It's interesting, but I kind of like it. Just, giving your amiibo something to do. That's what I like. It's like, oh, you bought this. It's like buying a piece of DLC that somehow applies to all your games. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really smart. I feel like every time they announce more amiibo stuff, I feel like I'm getting more out of my money. So I'm all about that. And we might see... Well, I said Starfox is going to be there, probably. Mario Maker.
Yeah.
And... I don't know. If they announce a 3D Mario platform, that'll be there, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive for that. But, you know what? I think we've pretty much come to the end of our E3 predictions video. Thanks, guys, for joining the live stream. It's been nice. We would have loved to chat with you guys or whatever, but... Thanks for just stopping by anyway. More live streams coming at you later. We were planning on doing a Super Mario World hack live stream today. I think we're going to maybe pass on that. What do you think, Tom? Yeah. Well, this is burn us out a little bit, but we'll definitely come back tomorrow with Mario World. And then later... Oh, hey, Mac Derby. Nice to meet you here. Hello. I don't know much about Nintendo, so this may be a very trite question and out of topic. But do you think Nintendo might want to jump on the bandwagon of virtual reality in any way this year? Everyone else is going to Nintendo, and Nintendo have a history of innovative hardware, but they also like to do things differently from everyone else. Hey, that's a wonderfully interesting question. I know that I've seen some stuff about virtual reality. I don't know if you've seen it, but Disney is sort of having a big jump into this. I saw a Marvel and Star Wars themed VR thing that they're going for. Of course, Oculus Rift is another thing that's huge right now. Nintendo NX could very well be a foray into virtual reality. It's something that I would like to see them try. Yeah. The last time they attempted anything like this was, you could say, the Virtual Boy. Yeah. I mean, even though it was originally called the VR32, meaning virtual reality 32-bit. Okay? So, in that way, it makes a little bit of sense. They definitely could pull it off. I wonder if Nintendo's a little bit shy of that, possibly. Yeah. They always have been about making things new and fun and interesting. They've always been sort of more like a toy company in that sense. Yeah. Where video games is sort of like certain developers have like metastasized around a certain idea. Nintendo has like to try and jump out there, even if it didn't always work, like with the Wii.
Well, do you think so or not? Let's start. I personally don't think I think they'll wait at least a while before they go ahead and jump into this
virtual reality thing. Yeah. You think so? Not this E3.
No, they won't talk about this E3.
Yeah, that might be my opinion on it too. At this point, anyway, I do think that it's something that will be in their future, like 100%. Yeah. I just had this feeling like Nintendo is really about these new ideas of play and stuff, and it seems like virtual reality is the next step to achieving that.
I wonder if they're just going to wait and see how the Oculus Rift does, and if that has good sales, maybe
that's
they'll work on
true too. I feel like the Oculus Rift is going to be a big development in this whole idea of virtual reality, how well it does. Microsoft is definitely backing it, though. I don't know if you saw this, but Microsoft is shipping out a Xbox One controller with Oculus Rift, so they're definitely got their support. A lot of people are into Oculus Rift. A lot of Nintendo games have been ported to Oculus Rift, or at least have demos on Oculus Rift.
Yeah. Like I'm wondering if Nintendo will find this technology too expensive while wanting to be able to have the common person be able to play their games still.
Okay. So maybe this is what you're saying, I'm not entirely sure, but are you saying that Nintendo might try and cheapen it to a point? Maybe make it more affordable by cutting corners? Is that what you're saying? I don't know, because in a way, they've had this idea of what it was called. So like something like, this is wrong, but it's like the basic idea, like innovation of withered technology or something, right?
Yeah.
It's using old technology to get to interesting game ideas and to get where they want to go, right? Whereas virtual reality really is on the forefront of modern gaming technology and really technology in general. I mean, virtual reality definitely extends far beyond this. You look at Star Trek and the holodeck and its many applications in that show, and it, definitely raises questions on a whole nother level of its medical purposes and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying Nintendo will probably wait. But if you look at the way, I believe it's, maybe this is wrong. So if this is wrong, I apologize. But I believe it's called Moore's Law. And the more I say that, the more I think it's wrong. But this is the concept regardless, is that technology exponentially grows by a factor of like 2 or something.
Yeah.
The square of 2 or whatever. So, like, give it 10 years, and I believe Nintendo will be around for a very long time, and we'll still be talking about them. Give it 10 years, and virtual reality is definitely in Nintendo's future, 100%.
Yeah.
The technology will be very affordable. Everyone will be able to get it. Everyone might already have it in some sense, and Nintendo will definitely go that route. I think Mac Derby's question definitely does pertain more to the now. So in that regard, I do think Nintendo is going to be a little bit shy, but you never know with Nintendo. They always have surprises.
Yeah.
It could be something. Do you want to say something?
I was just thinking, if they wanted to make it cheaper, couldn't they add it as like an expansion to the Wii U?
Huh. All right. Well, that wouldn't be entirely out of the question.
It wouldn't be like making a whole new system. It'd just be having an add-on for that system.
Sure. I mean, that actually seems totally feasible. And the reason for that, of course, goes all the way back to the Famicom. With Nintendo had 3D glasses, which you could buy. They're basically like a goggle headset that not too far removed from the Oculus Rift. Mm-hmm. Which you would be able to wear and get a 3D view of it. If they wanted to do something like that, I'd imagine there'd still be the question of software. If maybe there would be updates for current software, that might be hard to implement, but it's definitely not out of the question at this time. And maybe that would be the form it would take first before they go totally into virtual reality.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Great question. I really appreciate it. But I think now we do have to close the book on this stream. Thank you again for joining us. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Super Mario World. And then, 2 days from now or something? A little while ahead. More Parallel Worlds, Legend of Zelda.
After E3.
After E3.
We need to take a break from that.
And that's true too. During E3, if something really amazing happens, we might come on here and
stream.
Do a little bit on that. Alright. Thanks again for watching.
Yep.
See you next time.